I'm Ari, and welcome to my corner. Today is the video where I'm going to talk about asexuality and all that fun stuff and my experience with it. So today I drew myself as that tiefling again, and I am holding a asexual flag. I did originally try to talk while filming this video, and I ended up rambling a lot. And I didn't think that you guys wanted to listen to like a 30+ long video of me rambling, so we're just going to do a voiceover instead. So if I do some weird hand motions while I am drawing and coloring, that is why. It's because I was attempting to talk while I was drawing, and apparently that doesn't work very well for me. Maybe we'll try again next time. But anyway, to the point of this video. So it's no secret, I am very open about this. I am an asexual. And the definition for asexual is someone who is not sexually attracted to people. They do not find attraction in people. They do not want anything sexual at all. Yes, some asexuals do date people and do stuff like that because they feel like they really care about this person and they want to make them happy, so they do it because it makes them happy and it makes them happy to make them happy. And all asexuals are different. I personally just don't like it. I don't feel right about it, so I don't. That's how I feel about it. Just a whole lot of no. I didn't always know that I was like this. It was kind of weird to think, like, back when I was younger and I was, like, in, like, grade 6 and, like, very early on in, like, middle school, and I'm talking to my friends and they're all like, hey, I like this boy, and I'm like, cool, and then they'd ask me if I liked anyone, and I'm like, I didn't, and I'm like, and I thought it'd be weird if I said I didn't like anyone, so I just blurted out some random boy's name, and, probably not the best choice I've ever made. You shouldn't have to feel like you have to say stuff just so you feel normal, and I learned that the hard way, but, going on and going through a bit, I did realize it wasn't that bad, and it wasn't weird for me to feel this way, and I'm not going to lie, I have had a couple of partners, all of them being male, but I had one for a day, and I didn't enjoy it. I didn't like being tied down to a person. I didn't feel right about that. That was also in high school, so, and then I had a boyfriend for a week, and I didn't enjoy that either. He also didn't really listen to me when I told him, hey, I'm asexual, and I don't really feel comfortable with this, and he didn't, I don't think he ever listened when I said stuff like that, so that didn't last very long. And then the last one I had, that is a long story that I will get into in a minute, but I'm going to tell you how I realized that I was asexual and it was normal and good and not a bad thing. I was watching a video on YouTube, as they do, and I was watching this video while I was in grade 11, and it was about cosplay and how you shouldn't touch someone without their permission while they're in cosplay at like a convention or something, and I thought, wow, people do that? Why would they do that? That's just common courtesy. You don't touch someone without their permission. But it was just the point that someone made that you don't know if they want to be touched or not, or the fact that they could have a partner at home, or they could be asexual or demisexual, and they could have all this different things going on, and they may just not want to be touched, or if you didn't ask, so, but the word asexual, when that word came out of that girl's mouth, it kind of felt right, and I wanted to know more about it, because I'm like, what is that? I don't know what that is. So I did some research, and I learned different things about asexuals, like different symbols and things they do to show off that they are asexual, and I found it fascinating. And I thought people are fascinating, and I really enjoyed learning all this different stuff about asexuals and all that fun stuff. And it made sense to me that that's what I was. And I was okay with that. I was happy knowing that the way I wasn't completely out there and out of the blue and completely strange. I liked knowing that I was semi-normal, I guess. That there was a group of people like me that were completely asexual and didn't want to be with anyone. And that made me feel very, very good about myself. And it was great. And I was very open about it to people that I knew, like my friends and my family and all them. And I'm like, hey, this is who I am. And they were totally accepting of it. I even learned more about other sexualities too, while being in high school and stuff, because some of my friends are pansexual, and they told me about that, and it's not being attracted to pans. Dough. It's not what it is. But I enjoy learning about different sexualities, and I found it very fascinating to hear how other people go through in figuring out this type of thing, and how they describe themselves in the world. And I have a very accepting friend group, and I love them to bits. They're all very different. None of them are straight, from what I can tell, or what I've been told. And I have friends who are trans, I have friends who are pan, I have friends who are a combination of a couple of things, and they're wonderful. They're so nice, and they're so accepting, and the feeling of being accepted for who you are by the people who are closest to you is the best feeling ever. And I think everyone should feel accepted for who they are without having to feel like you have to change because that's what society wants, or that's what your partner wants. Your partner wants you to be one way, so you change to be that way. And you shouldn't have to do that. Your partner, if you want one, should accept you for who you are and what you look like, or whatever you are. If they really love you, they will. Speaking of that, the last partner I had, I was with him for 2 years and 3 months, which ended in February. Which was probably the best thing for me, because I had mentioned at the beginning of our relationship that I was asexual and I wasn't wanting to do it or have sex or any of that fun stuff. And eventually I felt comfortable enough with him that I'm like, okay, he's nice and I love him and all this other stuff, and I'm sure it'll be fine. And I lost myself while being with him. I no longer was very open or honest about who I was. I didn't care enough about me or my own problems, so I only cared about his problems or what he was going through, and I put off my own issues to deal with his, and that was very unhealthy of me. And when we finally weren't together anymore, we decided that we may be friends, and that changed really soon afterwards. But I'm not going to talk about that. I am going to talk about the fact that I realized all these other issues that I personally had because I had lost myself, and I felt very lost after we weren't together because I didn't know how to be myself anymore. I didn't know who I was. I know that now because I was sure of who I was before I was with him, and I lost it somehow. But I think I found it again while being alone, and I think I'm personally am better off alone. And I know who I am, and I know that now that I have depression and all this other stuff because I didn't really pay attention to it much while I was with him, and I didn't realize I had it, or I didn't realize how to deal with it, and I just put it off and dealt with his issues because I didn't want to deal with mine. And not being with him kind of forced me to deal with mine, which is probably very good. And I've had lots of help with, like, my friends are helping me and all that good stuff because they care about me. But I realized who I was very recently, and I am very positive of who I am now, and I'm confident in it. And I feel like that's what everyone needs, because I know that I am Ari. Ari is a nickname, but it's who I am. I don't go by my name, I go by Ari. Everyone I know calls me Ari. It's who I am. I am Ari. I'm asexual. I do not want sexual experiences in my life. I don't want to have a partner. I want to be me. I want to be able to draw and play D&D without someone criticizing me about spending too much time in this fantasy world, which I know I probably do. But most of my characters aren't even in my D&D world. They're in a different fantasy world inside my head. And I spend a lot of time there too. I enjoy it. I enjoy being able to do things creatively and not feel bad because I'm spending too much time doing that instead of with this person because they feel like they deserve more of my time. I don't like that feeling. I'm Ari. I'm asexual. I'm creative. I'm depressed, and I have my own way of dealing with it, which will be its own video. But I know how to deal with my depression to make sure that I am happy. I know who I am sexually, and I'm asexual, and I don't want any sexual experience in my life. I do not care about gender. I personally don't even care about my own gender. I don't care if you see me as a girl or a boy or whatever. I just feel like I don't really have one that fits. So I just don't go by gender. I don't really care what you call me. And since I've been without him, I've been able to realize all this stuff. Because a lot of my friends are very open about all their stuff with themselves, and it's helped me majorly. Like, one of my friends, I think the way she describes it is her gender is no, but her sexuality is yes. And I love the way she does that. She is wonderful, and I guess you would call them a they, not a she. But it's out of habit. I spend way too much time with them, and they know I don't mean to be insensitive, and they know they let me do it, okay? That's just the way it is. And I love how they have this way of expressing themselves, and it makes me feel so proud to be their friend, and to be in their lives, and to have them in mind because they've helped me so much. I love my friends, and they're probably the whole reason why I figured out how to be proud with being asexual again, and they accept asexuals and me. They accept, and better yet, they accept asexuals into the pride community. like the LGBT plus whatever, and I know not everyone does it, and I don't know why, but they do. And they're very big advocates for having asexuals in like the LGBT plus community, and I love it. They're great. They're so motivating, and they make me feel accepted, which is probably the best feeling you could give someone. So I mostly made this so maybe someone else who may be going through maybe a similar issue could listen to it and listen to me ramble and hopefully find that they are either in a bad place or a good place, but mostly to know that you need to find your happiness. You need to find your happy place. You need to find people who love and accept you and make you feel wonderful. Because what's the point of having friends or a partner or family unless they love you for who you are? And you shouldn't have to change who you are to make other people happy. I don't believe in changing yourself to make other people happy. I did it once, and I regret it. I didn't regret my relationship with that person. I just regret changing myself because I felt like I needed to. And I don't think anyone needs to feel that way, ever. And I am a lot happier now. I know who I am. And I feel like everyone should strive to know who they are. And I know that's a really hard thing to figure out when you're 20s, when you're early 20s, or you're in your teen years. I've just been the type of person who's always just wanted to know and loved to understand. So I spend hours and hours and hours just thinking and contemplating it while I'm doing other things. Like I could be drawing something, but I will be contemplating and thinking and talking with friends with these different ideas of things that I figured out about myself. And it's great, and that mentality is wonderful. And I just like being sure of things. Like I like being sure of who I am. That's why I have thought so hard about it and figured it out. It's because I wanted to know. For my own benefit. I don't do it for anyone else's, just my own. But I have taken up too much of your time, so I will leave you to enjoy the rest of my video if it's still going. I don't know, I did the voiceover before I actually made the video smaller, so we'll see. But if you liked my video, you could give me a thumbs up and that'd be appreciated. If you have some constructive criticism or your own sexuality stories, you can leave them in the comment section down below and I'll be sure to read them. I like hearing more about people's stories. I like knowing that they are happy and okay. I care more about other people's feelings and well-beings than my own. That's probably bad, but I do. That's just the way I am. And if you liked this video and you want to see my Meet the Artist video or any of my other videos coming up, I will be talking about depression next, so that'll be fun. Probably not, but it will. We'll see. Yeah. If you want to see any of my other videos coming up, you could subscribe. That'd be appreciated. The bell is not necessary, but you know. And if you want to see any of my sketchy bits or something from like my D&D or whatever, you could follow me on Instagram. I tend to post all my drawings and doodles there when I'm like drawing on the couch or something. So if you want to see them, you can follow me there. I do have other social media that I'm not on all the time, so you know, there's that too. But you most likely won't hear from me. Anyway, I will leave you to enjoy the rest of your day, and I hope you find your happiness. And I will talk to you next time. Bye!